guys, 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins, Sunday night at 9 o'clock. And, I took 2 days off, didn't look at anything, although we kind of looked at some things on Friday and thought we'll have to watch it. And look at all of the colors on the Hurricane Center map right now. Let's start here. This is 95L. We probably end up with Tropical Storm Dexter tonight at 11. All right, could be happening any time now. This is going to move out to the north and east. It's not a big deal. This is a small area, 20% chance days, 3 through 7, that something develops. That's a low chance. And most of the modeling keeps it low, but kind of drifts it into Georgia, South Carolina, and as a little bit more of a rainmaker. And then we've got a wave coming off of Africa that looks like it wants to try and get spun up out here and has a 40% chance days 3 through 7 of developing, but that one looks like it wants to recurve, okay? So this is the European forecast model. You can see here's our Dexter going out like this. Here's our soon-to-be blah. There's nothing even out there right now, but the models are thinking that a weak area of low pressure, if it can, tries to develop and then just kind of drift on shore over here. And then our wave that's going to be coming off of Africa will develop here, and then it looks like it wants to recurve. All right, that would all be fantastic. Well, most of it, except for the rain in the southeast Georgia. This is the European forecast model. Kind of the same thing I just showed you. You can see a little bit of a mess here, nothing really big, right? You can also see here's our Dexter, if that, and then you can see the agreement in the model. So when I show you the ensembles, it's like versus showing you one run of the European, this is multiple runs. Every one of these lines here is a different line, is a different run of the European forecast model, and it's the same thing for the GFS, right? So we're not relying on just one model run. We're kind of looking at small tweaks to the model, and then they run it differently, and they do that all the time, constantly. And so this, instead of just having one line doing this, you can see, look at all these lines, right? So you get a good idea that the model's thinking somewhere in this whole area, okay? And that's why it's better to use the ensembles when you're really uncertain. All right, this is 95L, just off the East Coast. In fact, it's tough to see here, but that is Bermuda right here. So good news for my Bermuda friends. This will go off to the east-northeast. It'll stay off to your north. So you're looking pretty good. But look, for my money, that's a tropical storm basically right there. I haven't looked at the data on the inside, but you've got certainly a good core there. It's at least a depression. And just looking at that, even on the satellite, you could think, if it's got a closed low down there, because there's a little bit of dry air coming in here, but if it's got a closed low somewhere underneath this tall convection, then it's off to the races. Although it doesn't look like it's going to do much. Here's the forecast models for it, okay? All moving off to the east-northeast and staying out to sea. All right, here's the model guidance as far as winds go, intensity, and it needs to get above this line to be a tropical storm. Okay, almost all the models are there, right? They go right up and they keep it a tropical storm, then it falls down after about 4 days? And by that time it's extra tropical because it's cooler water out in here. But you get the idea. We probably have Tropical Storm Dexter out there right now. We'll probably get a track tonight before 11 o'clock. Now let's talk this area here. This is that yellow one. Let me go back here. This one right here, the yellow, 20% chance, not a big deal. Where are we at? Let's talk about that. Let's start with the European forecast model, okay? So watch that area there. Let's go out through this week. I'm going to go all the way out to Wednesday afternoon. Look what's happening. See this? See that right there? This thing is just going to be weak and kind of drift, just like this, okay? Watch that. This is Thursday morning. See it still sitting out there? Look at that big broad area of low pressure. That's Friday morning. Saturday morning, still just kind of sitting there, all right? That's the latest run of the the European. Here's the prior run that goes out further in time. This says that by Saturday night and Sunday, it's throwing moisture up into Myrtle Beach, southeast North Carolina, perhaps into Georgia. And some of this will actually push some moisture in, especially East Florida, but nothing terrible for Florida, all right? But that's Monday morning, so just about a week out, okay? So nothing major going in there. GFS, we're going to do the same thing. GFS, see that at the very top, that's got Dexter moving out, soon to be Dexter. Let's go out to Wednesday. See, it's seeing something, not a lot, seeing something right in there, okay? Now let's go out to Thursday afternoon. Oh, it's got a closed low, look at that, right off of Jacksonville, right off of Savannah. or near Savannah, right? That's Friday morning, moves on shore with the GFS. Heaviest rain is Savannah, Charleston, South Carolina, and North Carolina. Mainly Savannah area and then into Charleston, all right? And then just some rain for Florida. So nothing big there. This is the GFS ensembles. And I wanted to show you this one because the GFS is saying that something gets going out here, and it's going to be, I mean, this goes all the way out through the 15th of August. So let's be honest here. It's the 3rd, okay? This is where we are now. That's 12 days. These models are not that good, but 7 to 10, you start getting an idea. Anything beyond 10 days, it's kind of like, we'll keep an eye on it, but you can't believe it, right? The GFS always blows things up, but you see these lines out in here? See the color of those? That goes up to these winds up here. So where you see those reds and purples and even some oranges, that's the model saying, hey, we think it's going to go here, but by the way, we think it's going to be orange, we think it's going to be red, we think it's going to be purple or whatever. So that means 70, 80, 90 mile per hour winds, okay? So the GFS has something coming up in that area there. Yes, it's trying to do something weak over here in the Eastern Gulf, but it's very weak. You can see by the colors, okay? So not too concerned about that. Let's look at the European AI, okay? Now we're watching again just for this thing off of the Georgia coast, South Carolina, and Florida. This is Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. It's got something down here in the Bahamas moving up the East Coast Saturday, Sunday, Monday. All right, nothing major, but it's just a little bit different. Instead of being something weak out here, it starts a little bit further to the south. Not a big deal. This is the European ensemble. It's a different way of looking at it. So this is looking at low pressures from all of the model runs. All right, so for instance, there's not going to be a low here, 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 a low here. There's probably going to be one out there. And this different runs of the model think it's here, 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 okay? But you get the idea. See this area right out here? It's not going to be that, and that, and that, right? There's going to be one out there. But you can see they've got it kind of grouped right into here, okay? So let's go out in time here. And I wanted to show you this because this is key. This one right here is key. And we're going to go back out. We're going to talk about this here. This doing this and then recurving is really key because there's a big ridge of high pressure sitting out here. It usually goes something like this, all right? If this can recurve, that means that this high pressure now does not extend out there. It's like this. And this opens the door for more things to recurve and not get all the way to the U.S. You want this, as long as you don't want hurricanes, right? So, watch this. Go to the north and see it's breaking that high. There's where the high is, right there, okay? Instead of it going all the way over, now this is coming through and it's breaking the high down. All right, see it go through, it breaks that high down. Now the high's going to try and build back, but when does it build back and what's it look like? Because look what's happening behind it. Here comes more weakness, if you will. Again, there's not going to be this many lows out here, but this is the model saying, you know what, I think there's going to be some lower pressures out here somewhere. We may have another system trying to form. And if that's the case, look where the high is right here, right? That's your high. So that's going to open the door for another recurve. As long as you see all of this low pressure, this weakness out here, that is good news for recurving. Look by the time we got towards the 17th of August. All right, so that's what I'm saying. It's a long time out. But this ridge is not extending all the way over here. Okay? It's only coming over to here, right? It's only in this area here, and that is opening the door for all of this. Now, what that means really is like the Florida East Coast would have to watch, the Carolinas, the whole East Coast would have to watch. But, you know, you could easily just get storms form and just recurve and stay out to sea. I mean, Bermuda would be watching these, right? So this is why, this is the 18th of August. This is what the model is thinking. And that means the model doesn't know. So when somebody goes and they show you this, where's the, I can show you the GFS version. Let's go out here. Watch the GFS version. Look at this. All right, this is the 14th, 15th, 16th. Okay, so somebody's going to put that on the internet and say, oh my God, look what's going to happen. This is really what the model is thinking right here, right? The model doesn't know. This is the same model. You see this one right here coming through? That's the one I just showed you. Meanwhile, it's got one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. That's what you don't see on the internet. You only see this nice big one barreling through to make you click on it. But in reality, this is what the model is thinking, something out in here. And for us, especially on the Gulf Coast, this is better news because, again, the door is open for things to come by. Okay, guys, that's it. A little longer than I wanted to go, as usual. But thanks for watching. Take care. I will keep you, of course, updated on all of this throughout the week coming up. Don't forget, our team is always on top of it. So tune in tonight at 11 o'clock. Colin will have the very latest on what's probably going to be Dexter.